All right. All right, guys.
I just
All
want
right.
to start this off really quick by saying, yes, Ferris, I have apologized before, but I'm not apologizing today.
Hold on a second. You guys might see my screen come up here for a second. Hold on. I gotta I gotta get the link to this so I can see your guys' comments. Yeah, Chris Hall, I see you. Coaching is once again a problem. Yes, if Andrew doesn't slow up on that route, it's a TD. Oh yeah, we are going to talk about that. We
Well,
are.
it's funny because that's one thing I haven't seen people mention. Everybody's like, oh, Lamar's got to make that pass. Lamar did make the pass. Andrew slowed up a half step in the route. And I don't even really blame him for that. Like, he was turning around to try to see where the ball was at. It was just kind of one of those things, you know.
Yeah.
An inch too far. He was going you know, one step to half step too slow, and then they just didn't connect on that one.
Yes. All right. Give me a second here, guys. I'm trying to connect this. I'm trying to connect this to our YouTube chat so I can pull up your comments. You guys are going to see my screen for a second. Just bear with me. I just want to get. You're gonna see some behind the scenes stuff here.
But yeah, so obviously the Steelers beat Baltimore 20-19. Um, Baltimore's offense looked pretty awful for most of the day. Lamar was off for most of the day. Missed a lot of passes low. He's throwing a lot of sidearm, throwing a lot of jump passes, not really, throwing with sound mechanics a lot. And I think a part of that is related to the fact that I'd have to watch the tape, watch the replay, but I'm not sure that I saw the line block one Steeler today. And I think he's very uncomfortable back there, and he's letting it really affect his mechanics and his accuracy and everything. But he also made some bad decisions. That first drive, I don't know what he was thinking on that interception. That was a terrible decision and a terrible throw. So yeah, the offense was bad most of the day. The defense was pretty decent most of the day, outside of late in the first half they got burned for a touchdown. It's just that Deontay Johnson dropped it. Um, And then in the fourth quarter, late in the fourth, they kind of flipped. The defense gave up 3 straight scoring drives, gave up 17 points in the fourth quarter. The offense really got rolling on that last drive, went right down the field, scored the touchdown, which led to Baltimore going for 2, in the win, rather than kicking the extra point and going to overtime. And I see a lot of people really kind of hating on that decision.
Yeah,
And
I'm one of
I'm
them.
going
I hate
I'm
it.
going the opposite way on that. Like, if you're looking at the way the game was going right then, your defense was not stopping them. The offense got rolling for the first time all day, and at that point, you say, "Hey, get 2 more yards and we win this game." Rather than I'm going to rely on you putting together another scoring drive and the defense actually stopping Pittsburgh, which they weren't showing any signs of being able to do at that point.
So at that point, 16 seconds left in the game, right? I mean, look, I'll say this. The coaching staff made a huge statement about how they feel about this defense, right? They don't trust them. 16
Why
seconds
should they?
16 seconds left because they invested all their resources into making this defense a top-notch defense and neglected the offense, right?
Well, that would just be denying reality at this point, though.
Yeah, so I mean, they look, 16 seconds left in the game and you don't trust them enough to go out there and keep them from getting a field goal
Well, no. It's about
or
going into
overtime.
overtime.
You
Like,
you don't trust them to
they
hold them to a
scored.
field goal
No, because
if they get the ball. If they get the
no,
ball.
I don't, because they just gave up scores on 3 straight drives in the fourth quarter to even get you in that position.
Yeah.
They gave up 2 touchdowns and a field goal, right? And and it's not just the defense; it's also the offense. I don't trust that offense to go out there and put together another scoring drive,
Yeah.
even if it is just getting into field goal range at that point. They were rolling on that drive, and I'm saying, hey, man, look, go out there and get 2 more yards, and we'll get out of here with a win.
Yeah.
And they called the right play. The play worked. And, they just, sometimes you just get beat. TJ Watt was right in Lamar's face. He threw the ball without really looking. He threw to where, Mark Andrews is supposed to be. and Mark Andrews, he slowed up half a step, kind of turning around looking for the ball, and he just, it was just an inch too far.
But this is my thing with
And
Mark Andrews.
that just happens sometimes.
Let's read a couple of comments here. SV Cam, what's going on? Thank you for joining the live stream. He says, if Andrews doesn't slow up on that route, it's a TD. Yes, I have no clue why he wasn't expecting the ball. He was looking right at Lamar when he threw the ball, right? Felipe Moreno says that was Andrew's fault. Dude, stop running. Yeah, okay. See, our LBHT crew knows what's up. Alfonso Richardson says, hey, guys, what's going on with Lamar? He's not playing well right now. We're gonna talk more about that in a second, because I have some thoughts on that. Danity, what's going on, Danity? She says, get Andrews out of here. I'm sick of him.
Danity is always ready to blow up some part of the team every week.
What's up, Davon? He says, hashtag LBHT crew.
What's going on, Davon?
Spooky J, what's going on? I will lose all respect for EDC if nobody gets fired after tonight. Ooh.
Y'all taking some inspiration, huh?
Yeah.
That's all happened.
Oh, we're gonna talk about that too. We're gonna talk about that one too. Yeah. Mr. J the Sixth says, oh, now Andrews can't catch one-handed when it matters. Yes. I'm gonna make sure I have the right
Y'all are ruthless. I'm not even hating on Andrews. Like they just didn't connect. That's like, it happens sometimes, man.
Yeah.
It just happens.
Yeah. I need to fix this description here. What was the final score?
20-19. Oh wait, hold on. I got the
20-19. Yes.
I got the ticker.
Okay. All right. So, listen, man. Yes, I heard on the and Yazar, what's going on, Yazar? He says, "Peace, bros. Thanks for coming through."
What's up, Yazar?
Tony Hendo says, "Lamar and these turnovers. Yeah, it was just one turnover this game. Still, it was a terrible throw.
It was an awful decision.
Yeah." Helio Dominguez, what's going on, Helio? He says, "Hi guys, just finished breaking my last TV screen. How you guys doing?" Oh, we're hanging in there.
Better than you, apparently, man.
Big Reg 29 says Lamar is trash as a QB right now. Hey, it is what it is, man. You call it how you see it. He's not playing well. Not playing well. All right, our man Derek Weatherly.
I wouldn't say he's playing like trash, but no, he's not playing well.
Yeah, our man Derek Weatherly, from a logic point of view, yes, go for the win. As a man with Baltimore minus 4.5, go to OT and get a touchdown. Yes. Kimberly Harmon, thanks for coming through to the live stream. Lamar should give the ball to Freeman to score to score the 2 points to win the game. It's a shame.
Yeah, like in those 2-point situations, you're always calling a pass play because you want to give yourself that option, right? Because like Lamar can run it if there's an opening, but you don't want to tie yourself into a run play that and if they're expecting it, you've got no shot.
Yeah. Couch Rider Raven, thanks for coming through, man. I just want to throw something right now. I hear you, man. I hear you. Yeah. Wilbert Gross, thanks for coming through. He says he's a new subscriber coming from Couch Rider Ravens channel. Man, appreciate you, man.
Thank you, man. Appreciate
you coming
and
through.
Listen. Before we get too much further into it, I just want to say to all the Ravens fans, don't worry. You're still 8-4, and Cleveland's coming next week. Like so that you're always going to feel better after that one.
Yeah. Right? I'll read a few more of these comments. I'm just trying to catch up on these comments because I got some things to say. Lazy Bum is in the house. He says, or she says, it's automatic one with Tucker, or it's lose the game. Yeah, well, they lost the game.
There is another option in there.
Yeah. You can catch the ball. Keenan Ricketts, what's going on? I don't want to hear any damn excuses. This was right in our face. Poor situational coaching. I agree with you, man. I agree. Let's see. Noah, what's going on, Noah? He says, don't be switching up on Andrews. He was clutch last game. He was clutch on a play. I wouldn't say he.
I would say I'll give him the game. Like he played really well last week. He bailed Lamar out last week.
And one game doesn't change my overall opinion of him. How long have you been saying he drops the most important passes, touchdown passes, right? Yeah. Like one game don't sway my opinion, man. Like that's not us at all. At all. Bro Comey Kwan says right here, 17 unanswered points, right? That's your defense, guys.
Well, and listen, that's the offense too, right? Like they've got to snap out of whatever's going on with them. They're a middle of the pack offense now.
Sugar in here trolling already. I'm trying to bring your comment on here, man. This widget that we're
Oh,
using
Shug,
doesn't
Shug,
use
you know what?
emojis.
I do apologize, Shug. I can't read your comments right now. Like I can't see them.
I can't
So
look. I try to put it on the screen, but
yeah, that's okay.
Yeah,
we don't need to see
this widget doesn't really recognize emojis. I'm trying to fix it, but he's trolling. Okay, congrats, Shug, man. He's a Steelers fan. Congrats to you guys, man. That was a good win.
He wanted an apology for me saying that Baltimore was going to win big.
No. Charles Xavier is back in here. Marlon and Macari are hurt for 2 weeks. Ravens are done. Lamar is mentally toast. All right, man. That's your one troll comment. The next one's gonna have to cost you.
I'll say this, man. Whatever you want to say about Lamar, you can say he's playing like trash. You can say he's overrated. You can say he's inaccurate. All this stuff. He is not mentally weak.
Right.
Like
right.
Lamar up here is fine.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's fine. Like I said, I had some J Will was going on. I had some thoughts about everything that's going on. J Will 501 says, "What happened to Bateman? He's out there. He's out there somewhere.
He's a rookie.
Yeah,
and he's playing in what is this, like his 6th game now?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. So here's the thing. Yeah, I didn't like that series of events because I hear what you're saying, B, but the offense got going there not because of they were just getting things together. This is what they always do. When the game's on the line, they have to hurry up to get down the field to score points. I think that's when Lamar is in more control of the offense, right?
Yeah.
It's less of Greg Roman calling plays or anything. He's just out there running the offense, which is why it looks more efficient and they get down the field a lot faster because he has more control of what's going on out there. Mm-hmm. But when they have to settle down and call play, run their game plan, it looks sloppy. So I don't think necessarily they were performing better, and from a coaching standpoint, I don't think the offense was going any better all of a sudden where they were just clicking. I think it's just Lamar just took over at the end. And look, I just if it was a shootout, fine. Both teams are scoring a lot of points and you just don't want the other team to get the ball in overtime and go downfield and score a touchdown. Cool, but it's the Steelers, man. I understand that the defense kind of faltered towards the end, whatever, but I'm not taking any chances, man. Like I don't trust that offense to get a 2-point conversion in that moment.
You're taking a chance either way, though.
Yeah.
But this way, you have control over the outcome.
Yeah.
Like you're saying, it's not the coaches were doing a better job or anything like that, and that's fine. That may be true. But regardless of how it happened, the offense moved the ball very well. Lamar had completed, 4 or 5 passes in a row or whatever it was. So the offense was clicking, and it doesn't have to be because of the coaches.
Yeah.
But they were playing well. They had some confidence right then, and they said, "Hey, we can go out there. We can get these 2 yards." And you know what? They could have.
Yeah.
The play worked. The call worked. Mark Andrews was wide open, and they just didn't connect on the pass. That's all.
All right. So real quick, guys, I have something very special to show you. All right. My son Jacob, who is also a contributor to the show at times. Okay. He has made something special for you guys. It's for me, but it's for you guys. It's for the show. Okay. Boom. He made a sword. LBHT sword. Okay. That's what was missing from that defense tonight. We needed the LBHT sword. Okay. He just made it. Okay. He didn't make it fast enough, but it'll be here for next week. Jacob, come here. Come say hi to the people. Yes. He made it for you guys. So I'm going to keep it right here on the desk. All right. Thank you, son. Appreciate that. All right. Yes. And he says, go Ravens.
I didn't hear him say that.
No, he said that. He said, go Ravens.
I didn't hear him say that.
Yeah. Well, whatever. But, okay. Yes, that Mark Andrews play, I heard Tony Romo say it. Oh, it was just, he threw the ball a little too far. He absolutely stopped on his play. But I want to say he always does that. That's my thing about it. he always stops because he's trying to do that one-handed catch. That's something that never gets brought up about Mark Andrews. Mark Andrews a lot of times makes the play harder than it has to be for himself.
Yeah.
He never uses his body, right, to shield off a defender, or he never just tries to make a regular catch. He always slows down to do the one-handed catch because he's just used to doing it. It worked once or twice. He thinks it's cool, and he just got comfortable doing that.
Listen, it is cool. All right, but maybe two hands for safety in that situation.
Yeah, and that was 100% on him. They're expecting Lamar to throw a perfect pass.
I didn't want to dump on Mark in that situation because I mean it was just like that, right? But that jumped out to me immediately that he slowed up just a little, and that's all it took. Because Lamar was throwing it where he knew he was going to be.
You know what's funny, B? Before they even showed the highlight, I knew exactly what he did. He does it so much. I was just like, he slowed down. He slowed down right there, right? As soon as I saw him just tip it and bobble it, I was like, he tried to do a cute one-handed catch instead of just running like normal, putting two hands up and bringing the ball in. He tried to get cute with it. And he always does this in clutch situations. And I have a thought. I have an idea for a way for Lamar to start playing a whole lot better. Just ignore Mark Andrews.
That's not cool.
No. Because Mark Andrews, what he does is he'll make a spectacular catch, and he's like, "Oh man, yeah, look at that. That was clutch. That was clutch." And then once he does that, all he does is target Mark Andrews because he thinks Mark Andrews is always going to make a big time catch, and Mark Andrews is not that type of player.
I think if they treat Mark Andrews like he's just another tight end, everybody would be extremely happy with Mark Andrews.
Yes.
Like he'd perform beyond those kind of expectations. But when you try to lean on him like a superstar, I mean, he's not a superstar tight end.
Yeah.
And so you kind of he is a very good player, and then you end up kind of dumping on him, even though he's putting up great numbers and everything, and it feels wrong. I think they need to, like you said, just kind of ease up on relying on Mark Andrews. But Hollywood has been a little bit absent recently. Rashad Bateman is a rookie. I mean, he's still very early on, and Sammy Watkins is Sammy Watkins. So sometimes, they're in a position where you kind of have to rely on Mark.
Yeah. Kimberly Harmon says Ravens. I think she meant to say they haven't been the same since 2019. She says 2018, but I think she means the 2019 season. What happened to them this year? Well, I think what's going on with Lamar is that this is the end of the road with him and the coaching staff. I think, like he's in a slump and they don't know how to get him out of it. Look, everybody goes through a slump. Everybody. I don't care how good you are, right? That's fine. But they don't seem to have any answers to get him out of that slump. And yes, he is playing bad, and he has to take blame for that. He made a lot of bad throws, even in this game, right? Mm-hmm. Poor decisions. But your job as a coach is to work him out of that. And they just can't do it because they lean so much on him, right? And I think that plays into why he's playing so bad. He's making throws like he always has to make the play instead of just making a safe play. He always feels like he has to do something out there or they're not going to get anything going, right? Sure. It's up to the coaching staff to say, look, calm down, just go through your reads, just do the safe check downs. And he did that for most of the game. He did. But they got to do better, right? And they have to do a better job, calling these plays, drawing up some plays that gets them yards, because I think that's where he loses faith. It's just like, I'm doing what you're saying to do, and we're not moving the ball.
Well, and I think this is a kind of an organizational thing with Baltimore as well. Like, I don't know if they specifically avoid getting players who make plays after the catch, or if it just kind of like a coincidence that it kind of ends up that way.
Yeah.
But they don't have guys who can take that 3 or 4 yard pass and turn it into a 50-yard gain like other teams do. And that is the reason why I said that I wanted them to get Kadarius Toney rather than Rashad Bateman, because that is what Kadarius Toney does.
Yeah.
He gets the ball in his hands and he makes stuff happen.
Yeah.
And that's not, I mean, the guys they have now, they can do that to an extent, but they're not great at it.
Yeah.
And so, it always does end up okay, well, I'm throwing this 13-yard pass to Hollywood and we gained 16 yards.
And shout out to Coach Evans. Coach Evans is in here. And make sure you're following him from Sip to Tally Films. He says, this is some BS, fellas. Man, Coach, I can't wait for your breakdown. You must follow Coach. If you don't follow Coach Evans, listen, let me bring it. Hold on.
Depends on what he's saying. Is it what we're saying is some BS?
Yeah. Even still, make sure Sip to Tally Films. I put that on there. Make sure you follow this man. He does a great job breaking down this film, so you can see exactly what's going on. Coach, I'm curious what you thought about that route with Mark Andrews at the end. Do you feel like Lamar should have placed it better, or do you feel like Andrew just slowed down his route and just didn't do everything he could to make that play?
And I think he does that in clutch situations. I mean, being serious, like, it's not because he wants to look cool. Like I think he does it because I think he's worried. I think he's worried about, hey man, this is a big time moment. I got to make the catch. Let me slow down. Let me concentrate. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And it's I think it's in his head a little bit, but
yeah.
I don't even put too much blame on him for that one. Like, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just get beat.
Yeah. Let's see. No. Yeah, he said he meant the game was some BS. Yes. We got you, Coach. We got you. Jay Will says the biggest difference from 2019 to now is the O-line. They had 2 Pro Bowlers and a Hall of Famer on the O-line in 2019, and now they got 0. That's
and that's what I was going to say. Like you were talking about him being in a slump and them not knowing what to do. They can't protect him.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just gonna they're not gonna be able to kind of coach their way out of a slump with Lamar. This is it's like the foundation, right? Like, hey, maybe this slump lasts 10 games. And if they had a better O-line and they were better coaches, they could shorten it to 4, but they're not. So it's going to be 10 games.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's just going to have to run its course because they cannot protect him. He's not going to be comfortable back there.
Oh, here we go. He's sitting there crying. We're not giving Steelers credit. Yeah. He says, we're not going to give TJ Watt credit for making the pass tough. All right, then.
I did give him credit for making the pass tough. I said he was right in Lamar's face.
Listen, Suge. Man, take the W. You guys won. Don't start victim. Don't play victim when you win, man. You won the game. Congrats. Yeah. But we still number 1. That's the good news, guys. We're still number 1 in the AFC North. We still might be number 1 in the AFC depending on how this Patriots and Bills game goes.
They're going to be number 2.
Yeah, we might be. Well, we'll see.
Or 3, actually. I guess.
No. Because I think the Bills will win. And the Bills win.
Bills may win in that game.
Because what we have 4 losses now? I don't know. We might be
tied
number
with
2.
The Titans. They have them in 3rd right now, behind New England and Tennessee.
So if they beat New England, I think we're still number 1. I think we're still number 1.
I don't think so. They're behind Tennessee right now. That's where they have them.
Yeah. Yeah. Congrats to TJ Watt. Look, we all know TJ Watt is a beast. Suge. We know that. Our O-line is awful.
Yeah.
Awful. Right? Like, you're supposed to do that to an O-line. Like, I mean,
And listen, again, what more credit do you want me to give TJ Watt? He didn't bat the ball down. He didn't sack Lamar. He didn't make it, he didn't really affect the pass. Lamar threw the ball where he was supposed to throw it.
Yeah.
Just Mark Andrews wasn't all the way there yet.
Yeah.
I mean, how much credit do you want to give TJ right there?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, look, like I said, it was a good play, but it still should have been caught. That's just the bottom line. It got dropped. It's fine. It is what it is. All right, so we got about 49 people in here. Make sure y'all hitting that like button, and if you're new, make sure you subscribe. We do a live show every Wednesday at 7:15. Usually we try to do a post game show after the Ravens and or Panthers if they're playing. If not, we try to follow up on this.
The Panthers didn't play this week, but they made the biggest splash.
Do you want to talk about the Panthers real quick? You want to talk about that?
You mentioned it real quick.
All right, we'll get.
I'm pretty happy about it.
All right, we'll get back to some Ravens talk in a minute. Keep putting your comments in there. I'm gonna read them. And Jay, hold on. Shout out to Jay real quick. He says Packers and Rams will beat us by at least 50 points based off of those performances.
Wow. I mean, the Rams though. Don't be going and putting your eggs in the Matt Stafford basket.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right.
The Carolina Panthers fired their offensive coordinator this week. Joe Brady got the boot, and word on the street, I've heard from one of our patrons, from some inside sources, is that David Tepper sat Matt Rule down and said, "Somebody's got to go, and I can make the decision, or you can make the decision." And now Joe Brady's fired. It's weird.
Yes.
It's weird how that happened.
Yes.
And you notice, the Oklahoma job is no longer open, and Matt said, "I need to keep this job."
Yes. Look, Ravens fans. I'm not saying, just saying. Right.
Saying anything can happen, right?
I'm just saying what you had in Carolina is a quarterback that just got there, Cam Newton. They just brought him back. Not looking too great. The team's not doing well, and they decided enough is enough, and a change needs to be made right now. Right.
Well, yeah, and also Joe Brady didn't have any actual offensive coordinator experience. He was a passing game coordinator at LSU, but Matt Rule saying he wants to run the ball 30 to 33 times a game, and they hired the coordinator who passed the ball more than anything at LSU.
Yeah.
So I mean, it didn't really fit. I think it's not Joe Brady's fault. He's a scapegoat. The talent just isn't there on the O-line, and at quarterback. Over the last 2 years, or this year and last year, and is a Matt Rule needed a scapegoat, so Joe Brady's got to go. And also, I think Joe Brady's probably not too upset about it. It's coordinating the Panthers' offense is only tarnishing his reputation at this point, and it's limiting future opportunities. So he can get out, go and get a coordinator job somewhere else, and be a head coach.
We got a donation from our guy Shug, the Steeler fan. What does it say? What are you saying here, Shug? Best Ravens podcast. No matter what Jose and Brodny say, they are my boys. I will always support them. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
And look, Shug is a diehard Steelers fan, but we still love him, man. He's a good guy. And so subscribe to him. When are you gonna start putting videos on your channel? He's getting ready to start doing some stuff on his channel. Suge Knight 323.
Put the link put the link in the chat, man. Everybody go subscribe.
Yeah. He's gonna start putting some hot fire on there soon. JP, what's going on? G-Roll gone tomorrow. Okay, look, he wants him gone tomorrow like Joe Brady's gone today.
That's right. That's right. Be like the Panthers, Baltimore.
Yeah. Okay, so
we can go ahead and get back to your garbage ass Ravens now.
Yeah. So, but before we get back to that, like Joe Brady leaving now. Do you think that's I think that spells trouble for Rule.
We'll see. The beat writers right now are saying there's no indication that he's really in any trouble or danger of getting fired at the end of the season. But it's early yet.
Listen,
right? Like if there's no, I imagine if there's no real change moving forward after this, he'll be in trouble.
I read that tweet. I sent it to you earlier where it said it said ownership, meaning Tepper, wasn't really big on the Joe Brady hire from the get-go to begin with, and clearly it didn't work out. And now they're telling Rule, you got to get rid of him. That doesn't bode well. Like you're not winning games. You've gone through three quarterbacks, circle back to the quarterback that you had to get rid of, right? And now you're saying, man, this guy's got to go. That is not boding well for you as a head coach. I think he's in.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, if there's no change, because they started out 3-0, they've won 2 of their last 7, or I'm sorry, 2 of their last 9. So if that continues, yeah, I think he'll be in trouble.
Yeah.
If this provides a spark and they win a few games, then I think he'll be back.
Yeah. All right. Back to some Ravens, man. All right, let's read some more comments here because they have had enough in here, man. They have had enough. Yeah, Tony Hendel, going back to what Jay has said about the Packers and Rams beating us down. He says that we're not losing to Matt Stafford, and I agree with that. All right, Matt Stafford can't beat.
Had a nice day today.
He did. Who they play?
The Jaguars by 30.
There you go.
You can always count on my man Matt. He's just like the school he came from, right? Like when you're playing a trash team, Matt's gonna
Oh,
pour it on. But when the big boys come to town, Matt ain't nowhere to be found.
yeah. Keenan Ricketts is pointing out the fact that we had no sacks today. He said Judon's
Yeah, and I
having
think
fun right now.
only two QB hits the last time I saw. So yeah, they didn't get pressure on Ben at all.
Yeah, yeah. All right, and coach is back in here.
And part of that is, the Steelers, they do get rid of the ball really quickly. It's hard to get pressure on Ben.
Yeah, coach, when you when you give your thoughts on the game, man, I'm gonna be watching that video because I want to hear your thoughts. No, Lamar he has not been playing well. No. But again, yes, Lamar has to absolutely take accountability for it. He absolutely has to play better. Whatever is going on in his life right now, whatever he's doing to prep for these games, he's got to change some things up. He is not ready. But go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, I think he's in that space where he's not trusting his teammates right now.
I think,
because, he got sacked, I think it was 6 times today.
Yes.
And listen, part of that's on Lamar.
Yes.
He holds the ball. He tries to run a lot. He tries to scramble and to make something happen, when he doesn't necessarily need to. But I think he's in that space where in his head, he's like, okay, I'm not going to have time. And I just need to make something happen. Yeah. I'm going to look at my first read, maybe my second read, and then it's go time.
Yeah.
Right. And, the only way to really get out of that is just honestly, just for the line to block better and give him some time so he gets comfortable again.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if they're really going to be able to accomplish that this season.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot to mention, since our man Shug gave us a donation, can you pin that Streamlabs link or just post it and I'll pin it. Post it if you have it. But if not, if you guys are looking to for a way to donate, we don't do super chat, but if you go to that Cash App right below B, $LBHT show, that's what we use as our super chat. Yeah, go right there, leave a donation, leave your comment, and you'll get a little animation like our guy Shug just got right there. All right. And if you can find the Streamlab, don't worry about it if you can't find a link. It's not a big deal.
I mean, I get the link. I just have to do it on my phone because I can't, post anything.
No big deal. I'll read some of these comments because they are still coming in. Let Andrews walk. That's what Danity says. Danity, I'm sorry to tell you, he just signed.
That's some bad news for you, Danity.
He just signed for a lot of money, a boatload of money. He's not going anywhere. All right. Let's see.
Right, it is in the comments.
It's in the comments.
What's up, Eric L?
Oh, Eric L, what's going on? Thanks for coming through. I didn't even see his comment come in there. Yeah. I was reading Big Reg's thing. He's saying something about Marlon Humphrey. Marlon Humphrey is another one that we don't talk nearly enough about. He's playing awful. And I thought because he's an all-pro corner, I consider him one of the best corners in the league. And I still feel like he is. He's just, he's just not having a good year. I figured at some point he'll break out of it. But, man, he does not look good. And that first touchdown to Deontay Johnson, we didn't even talk about that. Deontay Johnson got a touchdown, 2 touchdowns, where he was just streaking wide open.
And it should have been 3.
It should have been 3. Well, at least the first one he was he just beat his coverage. The second time he wasn't covered at all. Humphrey and Averett run into each other. Man, that cannot happen.
I see. Go ahead.
No, I was saying, and the same thing on the third touchdown. It was like a little pick play and looked like. Well, no, they didn't run into each other, but
he went over the top. Yeah.
Well, no, Marlon just looked like he was supposed to be there, and I don't know what he was looking at. He just got there.
No, because what happened? It was kind of a. I mean, I don't know, it's like a simulated pick. But I forget who the other receiver was, but they started up like they were going to be running that slant into so they could run into each other. So he went over the top, and then Deontay Johnson just kind of turned back outside. And I mean, he tried his best to catch up to him. He just couldn't do it. Our guy Z the Beast says, love you guys. Love my Ravens, but this is on Lamar Jackson. Does it make it any better that Andrews tries to one-hand everything? No. He missed easy throws all day. And on that 2-point, just throw it at him. Listen, he did throw it at him. He threw it where he was supposed to be. you can't just say, hey, just throw it at him. I mean, he didn't have time to just sit back there and aim it at him. Like TJ Watt was right in his face. He threw the ball to where Mark was supposed to be. And I mean, look, he was there. He just wasn't all the way there. Like he needed another step. I mean, he made the right throw, and they just didn't connect. Like I said, you got to give credit to TJ Watt for hurrying up the process. And they were just a little bit out of sync there.
Yeah.
And hang on, you go ahead. I gotta put in a couple of cash apps here.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, people they have some stuff to say. All right, let's see what we got here. Yes. Yeah, hump his ass, man. He's ass right now. That's what coach is saying. I don't know.
Are you sure? Because Twitter keeps telling me that he is like one of the best in the league so far.
Like I would have argued that up until about a couple of weeks ago. I said, no, he'll be fine. But I am really concerned about this man moving forward. Danny says she thinks Marlo needs Peters to play better. I don't think so. He was playing. He was a really good corner before Peters got here. I don't put it on him. Look, everybody's playing bad, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Like Zeta B says, it's on Lamar. It's always going to be on the quarterback. That's how it goes in NFL. It's always going to be on the quarterback. And he didn't do anything really to help out the team, right? But this is why we say hashtag defund the defense. Stop putting all your resources into the defense and expecting them to carry you, because they can't carry you. It's always going to be on the quarterback.
Yeah.
So this offseason, right? And we said it last offseason, exactly what we need. O-line, protect this man, right? And I'm sorry, man, it's time for the coaching staff to go. What you could say, Lamar's got to play better. Defense got to play better. All these players got to step up. But the coaches aren't getting them to step up. So you need to get somebody in there that's going to make them step up. I think it's a little bit of that. Lamar just not feeling what they're selling them anymore, right? He's just not buying into it. Maybe. And shout out to Matthew who sent that last tip. He says, "Don't have enough, make it enough. Gotta play better." That's right. Hashtag make it enough. All right. If you guys don't know about that hashtag, we starting that hashtag up. Hashtag make it enough, right? Because anytime somebody tells you we don't have money to sign somebody, we don't have money to get anybody, right? I think that's a bunch of BS. And if you guys have watched Friday, the movie Friday, the first one, right? When Smokey gets sent to the store by his mom gives him $1, says, "Go buy me some cigarettes." He goes, "This ain't enough." She says, "Make it enough." All right. So that's what we're saying. Hashtag make it enough. And shout out to Tony Hendo, man. And Hendo says they know the line is ass, but don't scheme for it. I think they do. I do think Greg Roman is doing the best that he can. I do.
Yeah,
right?
And I don't blame him for that. That's he can't do anything about that. He's not the one that put together that trash O-line.
Yeah. Eric L says Mr. Jackson was sacked 7 times. 7 times.
7 at the end.
Yeah. G Star 007. What's going on? It says maybe 11-6. We could steal a playoff game. Maybe. And shout out to an anonymous donor. He says she says, how soon will coaches Harbaugh and Roman be let go? Now, look, we just saw Joe Brady get let go. It is possible that Roman could be let go. I don't think he will. Harbaugh's not going anywhere. But if this offense is playing terrible right now, right? Mm-hmm. Benching Lamar is not an option, obviously, right? You can't get any more help. The trade deadline has passed. There's nobody out there in free agency that's going to come back to help you out. Some adjustments need to be made, and if he can't make enough adjustments to get the offense going, he could very well be let go. Right? But
yeah, I don't think it's going to happen. I think he'll be here through the end of the season, and they'll make their assessments after the year. I don't think Harbaugh's going anywhere.
Harbaugh's not
too
going
many
anywhere.
games.
No.
They've won too many games already with a lot of injuries, so he's not going anywhere. But it might be one of those situations where they gently nudge Greg into moving on. Maybe trying to find a job somewhere else or whatever. But we'll see.
Then he says, hashtag defund EDC, bring back Ozzy. losing to the Steelers doesn't upset me. There's always going to be a close game. That doesn't bother me. But just how we're playing overall is what's upsetting me, right? Man, Tony Romo said at the beginning of the broadcast, like, I don't know. He's like, I don't know how this team is number one in the AFC, right? Like all the stats suggest that they should not be winning these games, but they're still winning.
And they're winning because they've been playing bad teams.
Yes.
And that's kind of over now.
So yes, when we're talking about the defense, I give credit when they play well, even if it's against a bad team. You got to play well even against bad teams. But the fact is, they've been playing well against bad teams. And even in those games, they're always giving up one big play down the stretch. And it's always a miscommunication thing. Every week, it seems like there's miscommunication there. It happens every single week, and it always happens towards the end of the game.
Yeah, and in at least a couple games, I know today and against Detroit, they are giving up multiple scores in the fourth quarter. You can't do that.
So
you have to close the door on teams.
Yeah. John Hazeb Ali says, I missed the 2000 Ravens. I'm going to leave this up for a second because I think that's the problem with this whole city, right? With this whole city, with the organization, with the mentality that they have, they want that 2000 Ravens back on the field, and that's never coming back. It's never coming back. It's a different league. That team, that kind of defense is never coming back. The 2000s Ravens is never coming back. Do you know how lucky we were to get that kind of talent all at once? That does not happen. That is not normal. Like, we were extremely lucky. And by the way, we didn't get those guys by drafting them in the end of the first or fourth round or third round, whatever. These are high draft picks.
Well, listen, they could have the 2000s Ravens, and it would be with Lamar Jackson and Dobbins and Edwards and Hollywood and Bateman and going out and getting Stephon Diggs or Julio Jones, along with Mark Andrews and having a dominant O-line. That's what the 2000 Ravens looks like in 2021 and beyond.
Yeah.
It has to be on offense. The Steelers figured that out.
Yeah.
Your rivals figured that out. They said, you don't make money on defense in this league anymore. So let's go out and let's get Chase Claypool. Let's get Deontay Johnson. Let's get Juju. Let's get Freiermuth. Let's draft Najee Harris in the first round. Let's rebuild this O-line, and let's, hobble Ben along to the finish line.
Yeah. And John Hazeb says, 0 sacks today. Everybody's saying, it's zeroing in on the 0 sacks, and I understand because they have a terrible O-line too. Right?
I was told the sacks don't matter.
I have a question. What did you guys expect from these edge rushers after we got rid of Judon and Yannick? I'm curious. Did you guys think we were going to be better or worse? Right? When we got rid of those guys and we re-upped Tyus Bowser and we drafted Owe, did you guys think we were going to be better at edge rusher or worse? Because I thought we were going to be significantly worse on the edge. And I don't want to say we're significantly worse. We are worse. Right?
No, they're significantly worse
than last year.
They are absolutely significantly worse. Well, I mean, talent wise, they're significantly worse. From a production standpoint, maybe not significantly.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean.
Just because Wink does not want production from his edge rushers.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, listen. I don't know what everybody was expecting. Also,
Danny said, "Yo, you cracking us up today, Danny." She says, Wormley having 3 sacks is a reason Wink needs his chain snatched.
Yeah. So, I mean, because I remember, there were a lot of people who came in here early on this season and wanted to talk a lot of trash about how great Owe looked. And I'm saying there's 5 games left. He's got 5 sacks. I'm pretty sure I said before the season, maybe 5.5.
So he's
exceeding
right he's exceeding expectations. He's having a good year, right?
Like, but it's just that you can't be leaning on guys like that, on rookies.
No,
and guys who haven't proven it. So the production it's probably going to end up around the same because they blitz a ton, they get the pressure that way. But no, the talent is nowhere near the same as what it was last year.
Yeah. So Yeah. Pyro Ty, thanks for joining the live stream. This isn't a Super Bowl team. I'm sorry. There's nothing to be sorry about, my friend. They are not a Super Bowl team. There's not. They're going to make the playoffs because, like B said, we're playing the Browns again. We're going to beat the Steelers next time, guys. I'm going to guarantee it right now. We're going to beat the Steelers at home because the Steelers, they're another team. They're not going to get
You're going to make Suge donate
again. I mean, losing to them at home is not a surprise, but us at home, I think we're going to get that win. So I think we'll beat the Steelers next time. We're going to beat the Browns again. We'll probably beat the Bengals again. So that's 3 more wins right there. That's going to get us. Again? Or are we going to beat the Bengals next time? Yeah. I think we're going to beat them next time. And we'll get another win. We'll probably finish with about 12 wins, if we're being honest, right?
I don't know. They've only got 5 games left.
Yeah.
I don't know that they're going to win 4 out of the last 5.
So it's Browns, Bengals, Steelers, Rams, Green Bay. Not in that order, but those are the teams.
Yeah.
I think they win 4 out of the last 5, guys. I think they beat the Rams. I think we run the table the rest of the way in the division.
And we did get another anonymous Cash App. I just put it up on the screen there.
Shout out to you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Ravens should get a number 1 wide receiver next year. Do you agree?
I mean, if one is available, if a proven number 1 wide receiver is available, I'm always going to say yes. 100% of the time, I'm going to say yes. I'm not sure who that would be. I mean, Allen Robinson may be available, but Allen Robinson, I'm not sure if it's just that he doesn't want to play in Chicago anymore, or if there's something more going on there. But he's been absent this year. I'm not sure who else would be available for them this offseason.
Yeah.
But if something does come up where they can get a proven number 1 receiver, yes, I think they should.
Yeah.
But I will also say this. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
After they fix the O-line.
Yeah. Just Aloe, what's going on, my man? G-Ro said we won time of possession last week, so that's what's important, apparently.
He's a very Panthers answer.
He's trying to find victories any way he can. These guys know. I mean, he knows. He knows. They're not performing right now. You can say whatever you want, but just dump it on Lamar is not going to get you any points because when he's doing well, he gets all the glory. We're talking about Greg Roman, right? Oh, Greg Roman's a huge reason why Lamar's playing so well, and this and that, and they're the number 1 rushing team ever because of Greg Roman. Okay, well, when you're not doing well, that's on you too. And the offense is not doing well at all. Like there's nothing to be hyped about really on that team, offense and defense. Like the defense is doing well during the stretch when they're playing bad teams, but even in that stretch, you can see weaknesses, man. So, I think they'll have another good week playing the Browns next week, and we'll be saying, yeah, good job defense. But then we have to play the Bengals. We gotta play the Packers. We gotta play the Rams. And that's when you're gonna start seeing they have some problems. So this offseason, I don't think we're gonna win the Super Bowl. But of course, when you make the playoffs, anything can happen because all these teams have weaknesses.
Yeah, but there's nothing but extremely flawed teams in the AFC. Yeah. So Baltimore,
NFC well. Too. I when I looked at their
man, listen. Right as I just hopped on that Cowboys bandwagon for the NFC, they said, "Nah, we're done." So yeah, we'll see. I mean, the Cardinals are looking strong though. They don't look like a very flawed team right now.
Right. So, but look, no matter what happens, this offseason, they have to really assess that team top to bottom because Lamar hasn't signed his extension yet. You're going to offer him an extension. It's going to be for a boatload of money. And that's when you have to ask yourself, where's the priority fall on this team moving forward? Are we going to give this man the support that he needs so we can win? Or are we going to stick with this antiquated formula of run a lot and play defense? Because that's not going to get us anywhere.
And we got another Cash App from our guy Ferris. Thank you so much. There wasn't any message there, so if you did want to leave a comment, go ahead and put it in the chat. But thank you.
Well, he has something in the chat here. Ferris. Okay. He always got something to say. Cards versus Patriots Super Bowl. There you go.
With the Patriots? Nah, man.
Oh man.
nah.
Attitude Pop, what's going on, Attitude Pop? There's no way after today we don't fire someone. I beg you, Steve Bisciotti, put your foot down. Okay, Steve Bisciotti, man, we got please over here. Okay, Matt
There
Williams.
is a way, and it's just by not doing it.
Yeah, Matt Williams, thanks for joining the live stream. Give me Eric Bieniemy. Yeah, that's what we've been saying. You'll see.
Nah, he's actually got an upcoming interview in Carolina, I believe. So don't worry about that. There's plenty of other fish out there.
Yeah.
You'll find the one for you.
Yeah.
Baltimore.
Ferris says that's not just Cash App comment. You didn't leave a comment in your Cash App. Put your comment in the chat, Ferris. Put it in the chat. Let's see here. Rocking with Shady. Thank you for joining the live stream. It does not matter who's on defense at this point. This is an offensive passing league, yes, and we fail at that. Your team can't comfortably score at least 24 points in games. You'll never get to the Super Bowl. I agree 100%. 100%. And thanks for coming through to the live stream. Jacob is trying to, he says, I'm fine, G-Ro. I think he wants to say, fire G-Ro. That's my son. He's still, look, he's 6.
The
guys.
Ninja King.
Yes, the Ninja King. Derek says, Bieniemy for head coach in Carolina and Cam gets signed to a multi-year deal. My overreaction take. Okay.
It's not an overreaction. That is the correct reaction.
Yes. EDC, Tony Hendo says, EDC always flops. He wants 100 draft picks for 96 of them for special teams. Listen.
Right. Best special teams in the game.
So we were looking at draft picks earlier today.
Hold on. We did get another anonymous Cash App there.
Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Play calling
should be much better. O-line needs help.
Yes. Appreciate that. Man, y'all have see, look, this is what we do for our super chat now. So we don't, we're not going to enable super chat, but that's a way you can get a highlighted comment. But man, look. Hold on. I need Coach Evans' film at this point. That's my therapy for this game. Yeah. Yeah. So, yes. But we were talking earlier about draft picks, right?
Yeah.
And there are a few teams that have multiple first-round picks in this year's draft.
Yeah, the Jets are picking twice. The Jets and the Giants are picking twice in the top 10. The Eagles are picking it right now. They're projected at 10th and 11th, and they've got a third pick later on in the draft. So like those teams, now it remains to be seen if they put those to good use, obviously. But they're trying to turn things around with difference-making picks.
Yeah. Now, so I will ask you guys. Let me ask you guys this: would you rather have? Because I already know what EDC's answer is going to be. Would you guys rather have 3 first-round picks or 11 total picks? Maybe one first round, like that year we got those 4 third-round picks. Would you rather have a first-round pick, second-round pick, 4 third-round picks, a couple fourth-round picks, fifth round, whatever, right? 11 total draft picks, or would you rather have 3 first-round picks and then like a 5th-round pick? Because your answer should be 3 first-round picks, right?
Especially for a team like Baltimore.
Especially for Baltimore.
Where you don't have a lot of roster spots available.
Typically, for most teams, if you have your 6 or 7 draft picks, for most teams, only 2 or 3 of them are going to work out, right? If you're lucky. But first round picks are where you have your top talent, right? In theory, that's going to give you a better shot at getting guys that can help you out immediately and a shot at getting actual superstars. But EDC don't want that. EDC, if he had 3 first round picks, he would definitely trade 2 of them to get, at least, 6 or 7 more draft picks. Because he thinks, hey, man, better odds that way. But at some point when it doesn't work, you have to switch up what you're doing. Right? We've been getting, he's had 3 draft classes. And yes, they're still young. You could say, hey, we still got to wait to see. But 3 draft classes, around 30, or probably over 30 players he's drafted to this team. Who's really standing out like that?
Yeah, and all the data says, hey, the only way to be a better drafter is to have more picks. Yeah, right. Because it's kind of a crapshoot. Everybody drafts about the same, in terms of the quality of the picks. So you just want to get more picks. You'll get more shots at it, and you'll get more good players. But the problem is when you're taking those shots in the third, fourth, fifth rounds, you're typically just getting lower ceiling players.
Yeah.
So maybe they work out, right? Maybe Tylan Wallace works out. Maybe that's a good pick, but he's a 600-yard receiver, 700-yard receiver a year, right? Yeah. Versus getting Jalen Waddle or Devontae Smith, who turns out to be an elite receiver.
Yeah.
And so they're taking all those extra shots, but they're taking them in those middle and later rounds where you're not going to get players who are really difference makers for your team. And that's what you need to be doing as a GM. You need to be identifying and acquiring difference-making players.
Yeah. Look, we have a lot of work to do this offseason. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I understand injuries play a major role. A major role. I get that, right? But for the O-line, it's not injuries that's killing the O-line right now. We came into the season without a true starting right tackle. You picked up Villanueva, who was the last person available in free agency. They waited until everybody was gone. Same thing with Sammy Watkins. And they said, okay, we can get him, even though he's never played right tackle before, and we're going to throw him at right tackle. You knew going into the season that you didn't have a true right tackle, right? They knew that. They knew that Stanley was not 100%. So they already knew going into the season that they were weak at O-line, and they were good with that. So this offseason, priorities need to change there. They need to sit down and discuss and say, okay, we absolutely have to start we have to make sure that that's straight. And I know part of it is probably because EDC, like I told B before, EDC is looking at this and saying, I'm drafting all these guys. I know it's not me. I know it's not my scouting department that's getting it wrong. It's them. It's the coaches, right?
Yeah.
That's a lot of players to draft in 3 years and for them to not be working out. Tyree Phillips ain't working out. Ben Bredesen, is he even on the team still?
No.
Ben Bredesen didn't work out. Ben Powers didn't work out, right? Ben Cleveland is a rookie, but he's not working out, right? Like none of the guys that he's bringing in are working out. So even if he thinks, hey, these guys have something, it's one of two things has to happen. Okay, my coaches can't get the most out of these young players, or they're just not ready or whatever. I got to start going with short things, right? Either higher picks in the draft or getting guys in free agency, or this coaching staff got to go. Because I'm going to keep drafting this way, and we got to be able to get the most out of these guys so we're not spending a bunch of money in free agency. And if you can't do it, I got to bring somebody else in here that can.
Yeah, because I don't even want to give the injuries thing as an excuse. Everybody has injuries. And Baltimore, listen, they lost one guy who you could really say is like a superstar, difference-making type player, and that's Ronnie Stanley. The rest of those guys, Marcus Peters is a good player, even a very good player. Don't get me wrong there.
Yeah.
And they do miss him, right? But even without Marcus Peters, they had one of the deepest secondaries in the league.
Yeah, Marcus Peters can't be the reason why your whole defense falls apart.
LJ Ford is the guy they got off the street. I don't want to hear anything about that. Nothing.
Yeah.
We can talk about Deshaun Elliott. A bunch of people in this chat were telling me they need to get a safety to replace Deshaun Elliott because you don't want to pay him. And plus, the defense was playing like trash with him in the lineup. He's only missed a couple games.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear anything about the running backs being gone. They're running backs. Does not matter. It does not matter who you lost at running back. So, it's not like they're out there losing all these super hard to replace players. They didn't. They lost some depth, and they should have done a better job filling in. They didn't, and so they are where they are. But like I said, the Ronnie Stanley is the one guy who got hurt, who is really man, we can't replace that guy.
Yeah.
But like you said, you already knowingly came into the season with a busted up O-line anyway.
Yeah.
Now, would they be a little better with Ronnie Stanley? Sure, but they wouldn't be a good O-line.
Yeah.
So I can't even give them the injuries thing as, oh, well, that's why they're not playing well on offense and defense. No, they're just a poorly coached team. They had at least 5, maybe more, but at least 5 pre-snap penalties again today. Like, they are not a disciplined football team, and they never have been under John Harbaugh. That's just the way he runs that team.
Yeah.
It's not the guys who are injured. It's not anything like that. It's they are a poorly coached team.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, we're gonna read a few more comments. We're gonna get out of here. There is a fight going on right now. Tank Davis against Cruz. I think that's the guy's fighting. Cruz.
No,
Isaac.
not Cruz. Is it Cruz?
Yeah, it's Cruz.
Cruz was the guy he knocked out last time.
No. I think it's Cruz that he's fighting now. But either way, that's going on. We gotta get out of here and.
Oh yeah, I guess this guy's Cruz too.
Yeah, is it Isaac? Is his first name Isaac?
Yeah,
Isaac Cruz. Yeah. Yeah, we'll read a few more comments. We'll get out of here, and we will see you guys on Wednesday. Make sure if you're new here to subscribe. We do a live show every Wednesday at 7:15 p.m., and then we follow that up with the overtime show. And if you want to be part of the overtime show, right below me, patreon.com/LBHT show. You can sign up for as little as $3 a month. We have 2 tiers right now, 2 tiers and a $10 tier. That's going to change. So you want to get in now while the prices are still low. We're gonna do a little reorganizing here pretty soon. But real quick, B, tell them what they get for the $3 tier and the $10 tier.
Yeah, so the $3 tier gets you an invite into the overtime show. That's the show that we do after our live show every Wednesday. We talk about any and everything in there. It's a lot of fun. It also gets you entrance into our yearly Survivor League or Pick'em League. This year we turned it into a Survivor League where you make one pick. If your team wins, you move on. If they lose, you're out. And the last person standing gets a trophy at the end of the season. This year that was OTR Mike. So congratulations to Mikey.
Congrats.
The $10 tier gets you also into the overtime show to talk with us during the stream there. It gets you into our yearly fantasy football league. We are converting that into a dynasty league next year. We give out a customized championship belt. We're coming down the home stretch there. We're getting ready to start the playoffs. It's not looking good for your boy. But that's all right because I'm just getting prepared. I'm getting prepared.
I'm using the Raven excuse, man. All my players are hurt. I was trying to start Alex Collins today. I was like, man, that's all I got. And then after the 1:00 game started, I get a notification saying Alex Collins will not be playing. I'm just like, all right.
Listen, my team that I drafted was bad, but I completely remade my roster and we are rolling now. It's just there's just not enough games left. Not enough games left in the season.
I got nothing.
So yeah, like I said, we give out a customized championship belt at the end of every season for that, and also gets you the ability to request specific content, articles or videos on any topics that you would like. And both tiers get you entrance into our Discord channel.
All right, so yes, that's what you get. Lots of stuff. Like I said, that's going to be changing a little bit here pretty soon. But everybody that's been supporting, thank you. It means a whole lot to us. Yes. And pretty soon we're going to be having some new coins printed out. So the founding members will get that. And if anybody new that wants to join, you're going to sign up for our new tier and get you one of those coins. I can't wait to get them so we can show them off. We should be getting those soon.
Yeah. Within the next couple of weeks, we'll have the new crew coins.
Yeah. What's this? Jay Will saying Humphrey is out for the season. Is that true? Is that breaking news there? Jay Will 501. Is that true, guys? Marlon Humphrey's out for the season. I didn't even see what happened. Let's see.
Ferris put a question in the chat. He's asking if we saw it. I can't see the chat, so I don't know what question he's talking about.
He says, Brodny, you think of Leo Santa Cruz? What do you think of Leo Santa Cruz?
Oh no, I was thinking of Leo Santa Cruz when I was talking about Tank.
Yeah.
He asked a question about Bashadi.
Just put it in there again, Ferris, because you guys have been hitting up the chat. Sheesh, you guys, man, you had a lot to get off your chest, man. I feel you. Just put it in the chat again, Ferris. I'll see it this time. All right. Chuck Clark needs to go. That's what Tony Henderson says.
Humphrey is suspected to be out for the season with a shoulder injury, per sources. Significant blow to the Baltimore's defense. Another one.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, listen, normally I would say, yeah, man, that's tough losing Marlon Humphrey, but
he ain't playing well.
But yeah, like anybody can go out there and give up 40, 50, 60-yard receptions.
He's not playing well, man. Like, I mean, it sucks. I'd rather have him out there because a player like Marlon Humphrey, no matter how deep into the season we are, I always feel like he'll break out of it. He'll snap out of it.
Yeah, they can flip that switch at any point.
Yes, yes. I'd much rather have him out, but man, like he has not been playing well, dude. Like,
yeah, no, but that sucks for Marlon, and obviously we hope he recovers quickly.
But I just want people. But I just so we're going to get torched. Like so I just want people to understand, right? Because
already getting torched with the worst pass defense in the league.
Yes, that's what I'm about to say. That's what I'm about to say. Like, I understand the narrative is going to be when you're talking about gatekeeper Twitter out there, right? The Ravens gatekeepers. I'm not going to say no names. You know who they are. They always want to tell you, we know we don't need this. We're fine. Everything's fine. Everything that the front office is doing is right. Right? They're gonna use this as an excuse. They're gonna tell you, yes, the defense was bad, but that's only because, we didn't have our secondary. Marlon Humphrey was out. Peters was out. Look at all these injuries that we had. Mm-hmm. But we were already bad. We were already bad before Humphrey went out, right? Right. We were already bad before Deshaun Elliott went out. Yeah. Like, we've been bad all year, and it wasn't because Marcus Peters was out. Marcus Peters wasn't the linchpin for this defense to go from almost dead last in pass defense, to number 1 or top 5. It wasn't Marcus Peters, right? Marcus Peters is just a convenient excuse. And now so is Marlon Humphrey.
Yeah.
Which is why we haven't said a lot about Wink on this stream. But Wink can also go. But ultimately, it's got to be John Harbaugh that's got to go because he keeps bringing these guys in. These guys ain't got it. The jig is up is what's going on, right? When Wink got here and took over, a lot of talent on the defense. A lot of guys that he didn't have to coach. They knew what they were doing. Right, You had Judon, you had Zadarius Smith, you had Eric Weddle, right?
You had C.J. Mosley.
Like he had guys that you didn't have to do a whole lot with them. They can go out there and just ball out. Right?
Brandon Williams was still in his useful years.
Yes. Greg Roman, right? You come in here and you take over for Lamar, even though Lamar was already carrying the team before he took over. Right? That's something that people like to leave out.
A tribute to Roman. Yeah, he wasn't the offensive coordinator that year. It was in Lamar's rookie year.
Right. He wasn't offensive coordinator. And then, yes, his second year, MVP year, everybody remembers that. And Greg Roman got a lot of kudos for that. But all that is wearing off now, right? And what you're seeing are two coaches that don't know how to make any adjustments. They know what they know. They can't make enough adjustments. And I understand injuries play a part of it. I get that. But some of this stuff is just poor play design. And Coach Evans, I'm not sure if he's still in here. I've seen his videos, and he'll tell you some of those play designs. It's just they were doomed from the get go. They're doomed from the start. So, okay, Ferris, he says, y'all think Bisciotti is scared to move on because he is scared that the organization will go downhill because y'all have been a playoff team for 20 years. So he is okay with being okay. I think a lot of owners think that way. They think money wise. Hey, as long as we can maintain being a playoff team, we'll always give ourselves a chance to win a Super Bowl, but we'll maintain our ticket sales and everything like that. Of course, that factors in, but I think he was already ready to fire Harbaugh. He has said it himself. That was that year Lamar got drafted, right? That offseason. In their press conference, because every year at the end of the season they do state of the Ravens, and he usually talks during that press conference. He didn't last year, I don't think, but he said it. He said he had thought about firing them, but he decided against it.
Well, yeah, because they had actually missed the playoffs 4 out of 5 years.
Yes,
before Lamar got there.
Yeah, so. Yes, when you're winning covers up anything. That's for any team. It covers up a lot of stuff. But that year, I think he was definitely on his way out until they put Lamar in there. And
again, I think a lot of people forget. There were rumors that if they lost their next game, Harbaugh was going to be fired right after, mid-season, right after that game. Though that was the talk at the time, and we were celebrating.
And that's when Flacco got hurt.
Yeah, and then Lamar came in, and then like you said, they haven't looked back since.
Yeah,
but he was that close to being out. Period.
Yeah.
But then, Lamar came in and saved his job, and now we're at where we're at.
Yeah.
But this is kind of what I always talk about, like, and the teams won't, they won't admit this, but most professional teams in all sports, most of them are not trying to win. There are a handful of teams who are actually trying to win, and the rest are just going along making their money. And then if they find themselves in a situation where they think, hey, we can make a couple of moves and contend, then they'll try to do it. But for the most part, most teams are not actively trying to win championships. They're just not.
The owners that were really like that, most of them died off now. They're old. I mean, Jerry Jones is still around, but he might be the last one, right? And it's because those owners came from a time where the league wasn't worth anything, right?
Yeah.
They just wanted to win. That was their hobby, and they were obsessed with winning, and they would do whatever it took to win. And you still might have a couple out there that are like that, or you have some that are just like, hey, I'll let I'll bring in a GM and a coach that's really aggressive and really determined to win, and I'll stay out their way, just make me money, stuff like that. But yeah, most of these owners, I mean, they're in it just to maintain and make money. Attitude Pop says, why can't the Ravens treat Lamar how they treat Kyler, like they giving Kyler everything he needs and a good coach and OC? Look, those answers, I think this offseason, I thought the last offseason was the offseason, but this offseason for sure, because this is Lamar's worst year to date, and there's something wrong, and we know it ain't because Lamar is a bad quarterback. We know that, right? There's something wrong, and it needs to get figured out. So when you get to the offseason, they're going to look at this and say, what do we have to do to get Lamar back on track? Because all this money you're spending on defense, I know what they're talking about. Oh, we're going to have to pay Deshaun Elliott, who else is coming for a contract? We might need to get another middle linebacker. We might have to get a D lineman. We're looking at all these positions. We might have to get another safety. They're going to have to pump the brakes on all that and say, look, this might be the turning point for this organization. And we're just going to have to let the defense, if the defense falls off a little bit, which they don't have to, by the way, they don't have to. But if it falls off a little bit, that's okay. We want to maintain the offense. The defense does not have to fall off. They don't have to invest as much in the defense to keep them good, right? Bring in a good coach, draft well, develop your players, right? But they're not the side of the ball that's going to carry this team. So you can't make them a priority.
Yeah, and like you said, I mean, I kind of already have made up my mind on this. But yeah, this offseason for sure, the organization needs to step up and show everyone around the league how they feel about Lamar. Because, you've got people in the media clowning Lamar. You got fans clowning Lamar. Lamar's having, what's up, Jacob? Come on, man. You got Lamar having, like you said, the worst season of his career. And it's time for them to step up and say, no, we're not going to have, our quarterback perceived this way around the league.
Right.
Other organizations do that for their quarterbacks. Baltimore needs to step up and do it for their quarterback. They haven't up to this point. All they've done up to this point is say, oh, we can't afford it, and we'll get some guys in here and develop them. We don't need to get anybody proven, and we drafted old linemen and all this. No, you need to go out and send a strong statement that this is Lamar's team, and you're committed to Lamar and build around him this offseason.
Yep. All right. Couple more comments, and we are out of here, guys. How long have you been streaming for? It's been about an hour, right? Probably over an hour. Keenan Ricketts says, talking about Steve Bisciotti, he's cheap like Mr. Krabs, don't forget. I mean, all these owners.
Here's the thing, though. They're not spending their own money on players.
Right.
They're not. The salary cap is the amount of the cap is, it's like half of the TV deal. That's the player's half. That's the player's revenue. And they have to spend that money. And it's covered by the TV deals. They're not going into their own pockets. So, he may be cheap, but that's not an excuse for not spending up to the cap.
Yeah.
And spending on players. You have to spend that money. It's the player's money, and it's not coming out of your pocket.
Yeah. Noah says the Ravens need a new identity. Absolutely. They need to sit down this all season, and you're not gonna get a new identity until you get rid of the coach. Right. Harbaugh. It's either you get rid of Harbaugh, or you tell Harbaugh from now on we're calling we pick your coordinators, and he might do that. Harbaugh might be like, all right, because Harbaugh can adjust in that way to where he can say, all right, I'm not gonna get in your way. You just do what you do over there, and I'll take credit for it.
I don't think he would do that. I think he's got a massive ego, like any other winning coach, and he's like, you're not taking control of my team away from me.
True.
I think if they tell him that, he'll just leave
because he'll get another job. No.
Yeah,
problem.
absolutely.
Yeah. Ferris says, why not still fire Harbaugh? He knows it was Lamar that got you to the playoffs, not John, because it's working. Like after the 14-2 season, like I think before that it was still a possibility, right? But you go 14-2, unless it's Marty Schottenheimer, you're not getting fired.
Yeah, and it's because NFL organizations are extremely conservative, and they're not going to make any changes unless they're forced to make changes.
Yeah. All right, 8 pre-snap penalties. I didn't bring that up either. You're right, Tony. 8.
Yeah,
8. That is coaching. There are some things that if it's just, hey, these guys aren't strong enough to block TJ Watt, that's understandable. Most people aren't. All right. If it's just, hey, like they're not getting off the blocks quick enough, that they're not physically talented enough to do certain things, that's understandable. Not understanding your assignments, right? These pre-snap penalties, those are discipline problems. Those are 100% within your control as a coach. Nobody should be confused at this point in the game as to what you're supposed to be doing out there, starter or not, right? You should know the plays.
Always been undisciplined under Harbaugh.
Yeah,
always.
Yeah, that is 8 pre-snap penalties, man. Let's see here. Fire him after they lose to the Chargers. You're talking about in the playoffs that year. Well, look, man. I mean, they were on a hot streak, and again, it's one of those things where an owner wants to be 100% sure before, because we won a Super Bowl with Harbaugh, right? He's a Super Bowl winning coach. He's won a lot of games. You want to be sure before you just kick him to the curb. And look, again, go 14-2. That's gonna shut a lot of people up. So, but now things are going down a little bit. We'll see. I had Tupac says put Lamar on the Rams and they're winning two Super Bowls straight. Probably. Marlon Humphrey, Kingbird. Shout out to Kingbird for coming through. He says, Marlon Humphrey's out for the season. We were just talking about that. And John Hazeb Ali says we need to rework Marlowe, Andrews, and Stanley's contract. I think you need to leave Stanley's contract alone because, yes, he's been hurt, but part of the reason why he's out now is because they rushed him back here, right? But when he's out there, he is one of the best left tackles in the league. Don't do anything unless you can find a way to convert to bonus, whatever. I mean, look, you can always play around with contracts. Let's get that straight. You can always play around with contracts. I don't care how you do it to bring in talent. But if you're talking about pay cut, that's never going to happen for any of these guys, if we're being real about it. Marlon's not taking a pay cut. Stanley's not taking a pay cut because another team will give him the money.
Yeah.
And Andrew just got his money. He's not taking a pay cut either. All right. That's it. We will end it there. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. Frustrating loss. We should have had the game, but look, it's the Steelers. This happens. We're going to get another crack at them in a few weeks. But next week is another very winnable game. We should win. We're still at the top of the AFC North. Depending on what goes on Monday, I got to take a look at it. I think we still might be number 1 in the AFC, but at this point, right now, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. That's just for show. But the AFC North, we are still in control of 100%. So, again, it's about execution, right? That's the only thing that we can control, execution. And we'll see what we do. We'll see what we do.
Hang on 1 second before we get out. We did get another Cash App. Let me put it in here.
All right. Oh, and there's Iron Man. Yes. All right, Jacob, give me a couple minutes. We're almost done. Yeah. Yazar says Lamar Jackson is testing free agency. They're not going to let him test free agency. If it comes to anything, they'll franchise him.
And there we go. Thank you very much.
Oh, shout out to Marquita.
Appreciate that.
She says showing love to the channel. Thank you, Marquita. Appreciate that. Thank you. All right, but that's the end. We'll end it on a high note.
We are so awesome at outros.
Yeah. All right. If you're new, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell. We'll be here on Wednesday, 7:15 p.m. Eastern time, and we'll have more to talk about. All right. B, are you ready to cue the music this time?
I am.
All right.
Yes.
Y'all have a safe night. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll see you Wednesday. Peace out.